What's up, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. And today, guys, I'm going to teach you guys how to use the third touch strategy, right? So I'm going to show you guys basically before I get into the trade, what do I look at? And what are the last things that I do use as confirmation before I actually enter the trade, all right? So you guys stay tuned and let's just jump straight into the charts. Okay, so let's head back to the charts and let's have a look at it, right? So as you guys can see here, I'm on a 4 hour time frame, right? 4 hour time frame, because that's basically where I like starting my checkouts on charts, analysis on charts, just to see how the market is behaving and all, right? So remember, um if you just have a look right now, right? I've already drawn a line there. Okay, so what does that line mean and what does it represent exactly? So just to get deeper in that, right? Remember the strategy is the third touch. So the third touch, I'm looking at third touch on my resist or a support diagonal line, right? So it's my trend line, right? So the third touch on my trend line is my entry point. That's basically what I'm going to show you guys right now, right? So if you look at it properly on this 4 hour chart, you've got the first touch here, you've got the second touch here, and then you've got the third touch there, right? So that's my third touch, which means this would be the entry point, right? Cool. So how did I draw the line? So it's simple, right? So in this point, we can just basically, if I put this here, but it makes sense. No, okay, all right, it won't be as clear, right? Leave that alone, right? So if the market is trading around, let me delete this. If the market is trading around here, right? Anywhere from this candlestick, so anywhere from here, if it's trading anywhere from the 3rd of Feb 2023 at 4 p.m. Anywhere from here all the way to there, you would be drawing your trend line like this, right? This is how your trend line would be looking like. Okay, I'm just gonna take it past there so it's a bit more clear for us. Okay, so this would be your first touch, this would be your second touch, and that would be the third touch that you are waiting for in the market, right? That's the third touch that you are waiting for in the market. Okay, so the question is now, how do you then, the hardest question here is how do we then enter at this point? So we've got touch one, we've got touch two. How do we then enter the touch 3 point? You can, right? I know traders that literally just the moment it touches there, they enter, all right? But then there are circumstances where that touch might be broken. It's not always the case that it's gonna return at that point, right? But you want to make sure that when you enter, you've got the advantage in the market, right? And you are more confident that it's actually reversing. So how do you then enter at that point, right? So I'm just going to highlight that right there so that it's easier for us to find. And then I'm going to go to H1, right? So I'm going to go to my H1 time frame, which is right there. So if you look at the H1 time frame, right? If you look at the H1 time frame, right? So this is how it's looking like, right? You see there's a big rejection there. There's a big rejection right there, right? So with that big rejection, this big rejection candlestick, like this candlestick leaving this long week here, basically just means that there's some sort of a support and in this area, right? So if you are a more of not too experienced, but you know your ways in and out in trading, you would have realized that this point right here, right? If you look at right here, you would see it was a support and resist at some point, right? If you look at this right here, you would see that it was a resistance at some point, right? If you can just slightly go, okay, look at more recent, you would see this was a resistance at some point. So if I had to draw a rectangle here, I would have it here and then to the lower week, right? To the lower week. So I would have this like that, right? I would have this like that, and then I can see this point was a support, right? It kind of rejected here as well, broke it, came back to retest at this point, so it then became a resistant point, right? Fine, we didn't respect it here, but at some point we did actually respect it quite a number of times. So when this then meets my trend line, then it will give me more confidence to enter, right? That's when I could even be more confident to enter the blind trade. So I would have actually entered here on this candlestick when it was still forming. Probably could have entered there, right? But to be sure, you don't want to enter when the candlestick is fully bullish like that. I mean, you've got a long bullish candlestick here, and this one, I mean, at this point, it was a super long bullish candlestick as well. So you don't want to enter at those type of points, right? So what are you looking for? You're looking for more confirmations, more things that tell you that this is going to reverse. So yeah, so what are you looking for, right? You're looking for more confirmations to give you the advantage in the market, right? Sorry for that. So in this instance, I would normally look for exactly this line that I have drawn here, the horizontal line, triangle, if I can put it, because at this point you can see that there is some sort of a resistance, right? And this point too, and then it went back up. So as it came down, it then broke that area and made it a resistance. So it was some point of a support, support here, support two, took some time to break, broke out, came back to retest again. So I can say this level is quite valid, you know. So if I had drawn that line, then I would have known that at this point I can enter the blind trade, right? But to be more sure, right? To be more sure, you would look at the market and give it more time, right? You give it more time for it to see how it behaves, and it would have given you this long week here, which is the rejection stick, right? So I don't normally enter on a 1 hour time frame, because if I did enter on a 1 hour time frame, this is where I would have got in, and now I would have actually had to pay this drawdown before I can actually get to my TP. You see, so I don't normally do that. So I don't do that. I enter on a 15 minutes time frame, right? To get more precise entries, right? So looking for it now, let's just mark that area again, so it's easier for us to find that. And then we'll go to the M15, right? Okay, where are you now? M15. Okay, come on, is this thing that far? Okay, it is that far. All right, there is it there. Okay, so on the M15, you would have had this here, right? I can remove this now, and you see, just to show that I mean, this was long. It was like a major bullish movement all the way to the downside. And when it got here, it literally just gave that third touch and shot back up, right? So at this point, what would I have looked at? So I would have let this candlestick close. So I would see this rejection stick here, right? And then I would say, okay, so clearly my support level it's strong enough to hold it, right? But then I wouldn't have entered here, because normally what I look for is engulfing. So what is an engulfing? So this would be an engulfing. I'm just trying to see an example of an engulfing. Okay, So this would be an engulfing, right? These two candlesticks here, these two candlesticks here, these two candlesticks right here. So if I could zoom in some more, let me just zoom in there some more so that you can see these two candlesticks properly, right? So these two candlesticks here, the red and the green, right? The fact that the green is closed above the red, that's an engulfing. So that's a bullish engulfing, right? So I would normally wait for that to take place, but in this instance, a different pattern closed, and I also follow this pattern. I just forgot what's really called, but I'll find the name for you guys there. But the fact that we've got a long bearish stick and some sort of a doji candle, and then another long bullish candle. So they're basically canceling each other out. So in this instance, the moment this candlestick closed, so the long bullish candlesticks, that would have been my entry. So this would have been my entry right here. This would have been my entry right here. I would have my stop loss. I would have my stop loss right at the bottom of my previous stick, right? And then I would have my TP. Normally, when I do set my TPs, I mean, I could have had this there. I could have had it right there, and this is where my TP would have been hit, right? But I could have had my TP on H1, which I also like doing, right? And I basically just choose the previous high. Okay, it would have still been here, or I would have chose this previous high, which would have been here, right? So normally this is, if I'm patient enough, I would have probably trailed this trade all the way to here, right? But I actually just took the trade, and this is where I pretty much close it. Oh my god. Okay. Yeah, so I took that trade and I closed it in this. Yeah, I took it to this previous high, yeah, right? So my TP was hit at around there, exactly there. You see, so that's basically how I do the third touch. Okay, so I hope you guys did enjoy the video. Please do let me know what you think. Please don't also forget to subscribe, press that notification button so that you stay alert, and do comment, leave a comment, tell me what you want to see on the next video. Tell me anything that you think of my videos as well, and I will see you guys on the next video. Thank you so much for the support.